Toyota GR86, Nissan Sunderland factory, Mercedes-Benz Drive Pilot autonomous system, Peugeot Citroën hydrogen-powered vehicles for Paris, EV leasing on the up in the States, Stellantis getting into used cars, V8 quarter-scale engine. Hello, I'm Paul Callan and welcome to this week's MotorZen News. Toyota GR86, which we know was to pay respect to the AE86, the twin-cam Corolla. Well, the GR86 new model was launched in April, and within 90 minutes, a 2-year production run was sold. So 500 of the GR86s were sold in 90 minutes. They are going to release another production run. It's going to be on a new online system, which is going to basically be first come, first served. They reckon it's going to be another 500. Price was £30,000 140. Now it's £32,000 495. Pretty much no competition in this segment. It's a little niche product that they came up with, and it stands alone in this segment. 2.4 flat 4, 228 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds. Less expensive than most of the equivalent type hot hatches, and lots of rear wheel drive fun. You know, it seems to be, it really captured something in that, yeah, it harps back to the old twin cam AE86 days, but people have really taken to the GR86, and it's basically because it's just front engine, rear drive, nicely balanced car with lots of fun, and that goes to show you how successful it is and that it sells out so fast. Staying with Toyota and staying with GR Toyota, this weekend Le Mans 24-hour race celebrates 100th anniversary. Toyota are there with their new GR86 concept hydrogen vehicle. The Le Mans 24-hour race from 2026 is going to allow petrol-powered engines and hydrogen-powered combustion engines to compete. So you're going to have both internal combustion engines, one running on petrol, potentially one running on hydrogen. Toyota are there launching their hydrogen car. Akita Toyota made some comments on the launch of this car to say that Le Mans is a place where you can push boundaries and realize what the future is going to be like. He says, my goal is to reach carbon neutrality without compromising speed and excitement. And they say, I as Toyota wouldn't invest in this tech if we didn't realize we could win. Now, also, again, in Le Mans this year at the 24-hour race, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary, Bosch and Ligier are also launching their hydrogen-powered car. So this really does seem to be hotting up. They're getting into position to attack the 24-hour Le Mans in 2026 with hydrogen-powered vehicles. So it's going to be interesting to look forward to that race and see how comparisons are made between petrol-powered vehicles and hydrogen-powered vehicles. Maybe all the vehicles on the start line by that stage will be hydrogen-powered, but it's going to be interesting because we're going to see environmentally friendly internal combustion engines racing in Le Mans in the 2026 24-hour race. Nissan Sunderland plant was first put into production in 1986, and this month it celebrates having produced 11 million vehicles, and when you break that down, that equates to one car every 2 minutes from the Nissan plant in Sunderland. The very first car to come off the line was a white Bluebird. People in my generation will remember Bluebird. Anybody younger than that won't. That Bluebird took 22 hours to produce. Today, a range-topping Qashqai, top-of-the-range e-power Qashqai, takes 8.5 hours to produce. The plant employs 6,000 people, and in the area, in terms of its supply chain, it's estimated that it employs 30,000 people. So it goes to show you how important car manufacturing can be to a given area. And we're going to come across a story later on that's kind of around the same thing. Mercedes-Benz Drive Pilot, their autonomous driving system, has been certified in the most populated one of the most populated places in the world, certainly one of the most populated places for cars in the world. It's after getting certification for California, and California has given them certification for level 3. This is the first time a standard production car has been given this level 3 award. It's going to come out in 2024, end of 2023, beginning of 2024, in an S model and EQS model. It's designed to be used in high traffic environments up to a max speed of 40 miles an hour. So the system requires that a driver is there and available to take over control. It prompts the driver, and if at any stage after so many prompts the driver doesn't take over control, the vehicle's braking systems will activate and bring the vehicle to a standstill. So you might imagine there could be a few examples where the driver falls asleep or something and the vehicle stopped in the middle of the highway. But this is now, again, the next evolution of autonomous. They will hopefully within the next year be able to go to 80 miles an hour. That's what they're aiming for now, is to get certification to go as far as 80 miles an hour. But again, we're watching the driverless vehicle become much more real and much more of a possibility with the evolution of this type of concept. Stellantis are introducing 50 wheelchair accessible hydrogen taxis to Paris right now. They're describing themselves as the world's first mass manufacturer of hydrogen-powered commercial and passenger vehicles. These vehicles are the e-Expert Peugeot and the e-Dispatch Citroën. They're going to do 249-mile range. It's going to take 3 minutes to refuel the hydrogen into them. 100% electric hydrogen fuel cell systems. The Paris authorities want or are targeting to have thousands of these in active service by 2024. They are introducing legislation which means that you won't get a taxi license unless you're using one of these vehicles. So this is going to be a rapid deployment now of basically they're removing diesels out of urban centres. This is going to do this pretty fast for Paris. So it's going to be interesting in maybe 2025 or 2026 to see what the air quality samples are coming out of Paris, because this seems like it's going to be a significant removal of high mileage vehicles in the urban centre. In America, the lease rates for EVs has gone up dramatically. Basically, the $7,500 tax credit now is available for most or all EVs. In last December, lease vehicles rate in America, 10% of it was EV. In April, it was 40%. And some interesting numbers. The Model 3 in America, now with all its various credits, will cost $25,000. The Toyota Camry, which is kind of the everyman car of America, will cost $26,000. That's what's so remarkable now. And yeah, we can argue that it's all to do with credits and it's not a real pricing, but the volume of electric vehicles is going to increase dramatically as a result of this. We're already seeing it there in those percentage figures. Actually, in South California, you get another tax back or rebate, and you can get the price of the Model 3 down to $23,000. So really, you have to say in America, they're being very proactive about getting electric vehicles out there, about reducing the emissions and the outputs in America by driving concepts and methods to get people into EVs. Stellantis are getting into the used car business. And we've done a story about Renault in France, similar story maybe last year sometime. Really strange. How can you associate these car manufacturers with used vehicles? They're going to take end-of-life vehicles. They're going to recover any parts they can use from them or remanufacture some of the parts from those vehicles, and then they're going to recycle the rest. Then they're going to use those parts to refurbish existing vehicles from these refurbished centres. But I think the nub of this is that these centres will be in France, Belgium and Luxembourg. And I think it's something to do with the fact that when you go to EV, lots and lots of staff are no longer necessary. And I think if you go back to the Sunderland story, we said that there was 6,000 people working in the factory in Sunderland, but almost 30,000 people in the area that were working support and services offered to the factory. So you can see that the impact of a car factory is massive on a given area. And we think that the reason for this is that the French brands are having to help with the fallout of using manufacturing EVs, which means they're going to need a lot less people. So they're going to redeploy these people in these remanufacturing centres. But really, the car manufacturers are in a segment of business that they've never been in before, which is effectively taking a used vehicle, reconditioning it and selling it again. Very uncharted territory for these guys. So not sure how this is going to play out, whether those vehicles are going to be distributed back out to the distributors perhaps. Maybe that's how it's going to work. But it's going to be interesting to watch this. This last story we have is just kind of a fun story, but maybe it's not, because maybe this is the only way we're going to experience internal combustion engines into the future. It's a company in America that produce quarter scale engines, real, live, running engines, running on fuel, lubricated by oil. We've got a video that shows the guys firing up the V8 engine for the first time. They have some issues around firing order. They have some issues around fuel delivery, and the video shows them rectifying those problems. It shows them fitting a new exhaust system to this V8, and they get a real proper V8 sound from it. 78cc, 4-stroke engine, 2 cams per head, 9,000 RPM, and producing a massive 5 brake horsepower. You can actually buy these engines. This engine I think costs €2,899. We're going to put some links and stuff up, but we're going to end the show on the sound, this beautiful V8 sound. Really worth listening to. Okay, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Usual buzz, like, comment and subscribe. Any little bit of help there would be great. We had a comment last week that there was no commentary, there was no actual interview commentary with the article we did about Rowan Atkinson. Well, we did try to get an interview with him, but we weren't able to get it. So that's just it. See you next week. Thanks.